I'm gonna go over Seedance here. It's a little bit. Hailuo. On the website Hailuo is my first time I use Seedance 2. The prompt. I think I over prompted at first. At the end, I thought they could fight a little bit more intense. But this was my first clip, and I didn't quite understand how precise the prompt needed to be, or what kind of response I was getting out of the multi-panel. These were start frame for multi-panel. Back then, there weren't any reference option for Seedance on Hailuo. The good thing about Hailuo is that the censored. They don't have a API platform trying to censor you. But then it was quite stiff, and now they have omni-reference. So omni-reference is what people use to get past the face censor, where you can have human faces. And this was the only one where it was a workable clip. There's the Nano Banana 2x2 panel, and the face was small enough that you could actually pass the censor and could plug it in. There weren't a lot of options. Yeah, what I would like to do on this one on the redo is at the end just specify more detailed fight scenes. If you're gonna leave it vulgar, like vulgar sounds. And oh yeah, the music. People were saying that they always come with music. I just specify fight, so it's worth playing. I generated quite a few more clips of Seedance. I realized that when your action is plain enough, that you're not giving it enough direction to do appropriate things in the scenes. So being too vulgar is not good with Seedance, where it requires a certain hands-on precision. It's a little more time tedious than some other platform, but that's just worth. Let's go over this one. Yeah, I quite like this one. The problem is quite long, you see. It's not a big secret, just, it started biting things. And this one I gave it a little bit specific camera. The good thing about both Seedance is that on Hailuo, yeah, there's no sensor, you can do, Game of Thrones style action, but it is a bit of a waste because when you're doing start frame, right? The first 2 seconds you can see it. A full 2 seconds here. It's only the second that they started zooming in. And so start frame, there's a bit of a issue where it's slow to start and you're wasting 2 seconds. And it's quite expensive, right? It adds up. Omni-reference, I tried omni-reference is better. And the result is about the same. Omni-reference, you start the first second and you just zoomed in. It's more calibrated toward this kind of multi-panel thing where start frame is just not programmed and built for it. So you're gonna, but yeah, I was working. I was just lucky. I was just like frustrated that I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that with all the sensor going on. This was the only one of the image where it didn't have any face. The spatial placement of things. It is quite accurate. Like it knows where the location of things is from one scene to another. So creatively, you can kind of try to move things around. And the advantage of the multi-panel images is that you're kind of able to zoom out and then a little bit. Like this one didn't quite have the turret. Only the top right image panel has the turret, and it's able to port that turn over to the other frame. So you can add a little more information into the scene with a multi-panel, and it's able to understand where everything is, where everything fits in the proper place. So there's a lot of power how you can use a multi-panel to evolve a scenes that you couldn't do with just one image alone. Yeah, it's quite good. And Seedance on default can be quite brutal. Game of Thrones. Yeah, just burning. Yeah, just really out Game of Thrones things. Probably not gonna show this one all the way because this gets a little bit bloody. Give you this one. Maybe it flew a little bit higher. Kind of wanted to go back to the castle. Maybe next time I'll just specify that it is flying back toward the direction of the castle. It feels like it's flying to the mountain a little bit. Yeah. Precision helps. Oh, the one thing I like is I was testing out whether it can have one character panic and start running, right? In movie you have the little trivia things like that, or little Easter egg. Well, I just wanted one character that's like, oh, I'm spooked, I gotta run away. And then you could do that. You can in addition to all these prompts, you can micromanage one particular character or group, so it's quite powerful. It's very good. And then these are just mid-journey images, and this one is a Hailuo image 1. I was just running out quite other burning. Yeah. Omni reference is a thing to use for multi-panel. On to the next. Now I'm on Artlist, and Artlist has been interesting. I tried last month. I tried to use Artlist for start frame, and then because with Seedance it is still very censored, and it wouldn't take it. But it Omni works. I plug an Omni reference in, and then I was able to get this clip. I really like this clip. Yeah, they significantly reduced the credit cost, so it's nice to see. Back then I could only generate like 4 to 5 full clips, full 15-second clips, which is still quite substantial over monthly credit. And the results have been great, so let's check it out. Yeah, it's just yeah, the problem is a little bit long. So there were no stage only reference. It's just a character standalone. The character standalone, and then just raw text prompt to the environment in modern world. And I know that the Seedance Sea Dream model is quite good with realism, so we're gonna use that. Work the total of nine shots. Was playing around with the sound effect too. There's a little bit of a micro movement on the character per shot, where I want a little bit of personality. And some of the show up, some of it didn't have enough time. At the end I wanted a little bit of glowing eye, and in the very beginning there's a little bit of glowing eye. The prompt came from an online user as inspiration. This one was a start frame. And maybe the prompt got a little bit disruptive, where originally I wanted one smaller armor on top of a bigger armor, but then the LM kind of gave me an error. It said normal clothing instead. So one of the things I learned with Seedance is that it's so precise to prompt right here, is that you want to make sure that the LM that you're using to prompt is doing all the right things. It's not too complicated. I learned very quickly that the LLM I was using, Claude, was overcomplicating the text, and it immediately I understood that it was creating a lot of problems. It didn't come out the way I really wanted. No, it was better if I used a simpler LLM, or if I handcrafted myself. Being too wordy doesn't seem to help with Seedance. Yeah, it was a prompt problem. Then let's see this one again. And this one I learned to simplify. Yeah, this one turned out okay. Again, it was just raw text prompt. Raw text prompt, and then the stage environment added, and then only get the character in. And it turned out great. Yeah, and now I started to get it. And then this one again, I got into liking that I was just gonna use one only reference character, and not even worry about the station. So this one just martial art combat, stick figures. Fairly simple, 12-second only. I thought the timing on this scene came out okay. That it wasn't too long or wasted too many minutes. It just came just right. So maybe somewhere around 12 seconds to 13 seconds actually ideal for slower action movement. With 15 seconds sometimes seems a little bit long. Seems to be wasting it or too generous. Even more tighter scenes. This one was again just raw text with one only character. Yeah, for some reason I forgot to have no music again, but I guess it's fine, it's salvageable. It doesn't always, it's not always so beneficial to raw text Seedance, because well, for image like this, for this clip in particular, I felt that it was a rather weak on the cinema palette, and I would wanted a little more control. It looks like a raw text to video, right? Like the night tower is a little bit cheap. Or if you do it with a non-banana scene by scene, will just be a whole lot more control. And being the period setting, I think the Seedance model it's a little bit weaker than the realism. With other model like Midjourney or yeah, just whatever image model of your choice, you're gonna get a lot more control that way. So I'm learning to avoid certain things. And this clip here is just I think this was a fast Seedance 1 fast. And Seedance 1's fast is quite fun too. Seedance 1.5 actually. Yeah. It's cool that the Artlist have reduced the price of the API credit, because it was known, Artlist when I looked it up a while ago, it is known to be one of the more expensive of the API servers, and it's nice. It's nice to see that they're now very competitive. Give Artlist a try. I think they've been fun. This is a good move with them, that you can generate 5 times more than what it was. It's very exciting. It's cool. Very cool. And now I'll show you how much it costs now. To a full 15 second, right? Costs it used to be that the 10 second costs like twice as much. It's a lot cheaper. Now you can generate full 15 seconds. Big, huge. Alright, so on to the next. Oh yeah, I should note that back in the Artlist clip a moment earlier, there is a censor, so you cannot prompt the combat or violent material into Artlist. That's what I learned. If you're heavy, it depends on what you're working on. On a lot of things, it can be very useful, despite the censor. Alright, here with Dzine, then there is no censor, fortunately. So I had a lot of violent clips and I was able to plug them all in. Some of these clips I was originally just gonna plug into Dzine, but then I noticed that the sensor locked it out, so I just pulled it here. It's been a good easy day to finish the credit off that way, because it worked a couple days ago. So I'll show you some of the clips today. And this clip was a full Omni reference that I have, and because of that earlier clip with Artlist, right? Well, I didn't felt that it was very cinematic to wanna to minute detail every component of the scene to change it around. And text to video is a good way to test out whether a model can or can't do something when starting out, and that's what I usually start to do. I usually work my way up from text to video to image to video. And so yeah, this is the learning from the last. And the cinematic palette, everything feels a lot more consistent for all the scenes. And the Seedance combat fight scenes has been wonderful. With Kling, right? Kling combat, sometimes it likes to it's quite problematic the longer it takes. I found that if I reduce Kling combat to short bursts per multi-shot, and then somewhere around 10 to 12, 13 second limits, it tends to not break as often. Well, Seedance doesn't have a problem. Seedance is very capable of going full 15 seconds without breaking. Kling, I was on a surface with an unlimited week, and I was testing all the compound. I was going prolonged and overcomplicated, and there was so many problems that most of the clips will end up being not usable. So you push the model to its limit where it's not supposed to get there. Where Seedance this is a build combat is just built for it. So the prompt wasn't too complicated. But I did have to manually tune it up from the claw over complications and to get the right result. You can just do it by human touch. It's not like rocket science or anything. Yeah, and the Omni can do a whole lot of characters. Let me see. Yeah, see here what these little dot card here. Yeah, there's a whole, yeah, there's like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's full eight reference image here, and all the character, individual main character, the brutes that were troubling the barmaid. I built them asset with a download banana. They started out as mid-journey prompts, and I just uploaded them on download banana character sheets, and I just plugged them in. It's fun. It takes a while to set up on the Omni, but once you have the asset, you can keep coming back to it, and so it's a one-time build-up, right? And the scene environment, people were saying how Seedance camera environment is superior to the Nano Banana. And you're working with Nano Banana and you try to move the camera around, you realize it's very stiff. Where video AI platform like Kling, like Seedance, it's gonna be much more mobile, and people are using that right now. On the group photo where I had a whole bunch of characters together for the tavern's background character, I felt I needed to feel more because it was kind of duplicating. Or there's some issue where it was just duplicating, just trying to fill in the void on the crowd, and there were only like 6 characters here, and it wasn't quite enough. I'm still figuring out whether I should add another group in, or in this one I was just testing whether it can do group characters per single reference image, or whether it has to be an individual character. Next time I might just line them up, a whole group of unique characters all together, like 8 to 10 of them, just to fill a room a little bit better than duplicate. But this is very, very good because the consistency is there. If you zoom up close to the character, the face of the character is very, very consistent. and it's so consistent that the up close of the face of the character I have no complaint. So even though it's doing multiple, like up to 8 images, it has no trouble being consistent per character, and it didn't mix it up. Some video AI model, if you give it too many references, it starts to create a mistake, right? The barmaid is still the barmaid. The woman that is fighting the brutes is still the same exact same character, and with no mix up, that means the model is very reliable that way. Multi reference, reference image. For this one clip that I was testing out, yeah, there's no problem because the bartender is the bartender. Yeah, there's a whole lot of thing, right? 848, it got it all right, so it's very reliable. If you work with your AI often enough, you realize that yeah, even Nano Banana, right? If you give it more reference image, more than 5, it starts to blur. It starts to not understand, and then blur every so often, and you have to redo over and over again. I don't think this clip was full, or it was just 13 seconds. So you can gauge the timing of the action sequence like this. I started to realize that the extra 2 seconds at the end weren't as needed on high octane action scenes where it felt like it was just a little bit bloated. And so I like the pacing of this scene. I'm starting to understand how to work the timing issue. And it's been good to save you a little bit of credit. Yeah. This was a start frame image. Essentially, I like the original start frame, how it was posing the character. But then the character face started to morph, which is expected because it's such a side angle. Right? Now I'm wondering if I can use a start frame like opening shot and set the character up, but still have an only reference on the side, so it's a little bit more consistent that way. Can both work? I was wondering, and I haven't tried it yet. But maybe yeah, just maybe this on multi-panel next time. I really like this scene because in the beginning I wanted the character to do a full spin, but then even as he's doing full spin, he's parrying both werewolf at once at such speed, and that means that he's a very expert martial art fighter. And you know, there's a little bit of a sparks here when hitting the werewolf. Now, that was a werewolf trying to claw, defend itself. Yeah, a really sharp claw, trying to parry the sword. But then this guy is too much of an expert and break past the defenses. Yeah, so there's a lot happening rapidly in just 13 seconds, and it came out great because there's a lot of these minute detail during combat, and I was able to plug them all in. So micro detail with Seedance has been wonderful that way. And yeah, one more time just because I love this. Parry 1, parry 2, yeah. And the martial with the character object placement has been great. That you don't feel, yeah, you feel like it's a continual action and all the characters in the right place, right? And so it's been fun. Yeah, the placement of character multi-shot scenes has been wonderful. Some platform have multi-shot and it seems to create problem. This seems to be by and large very well put, and then you can kind of put it to a stress test. It will still not break. It kind of hold itself together that way. So let's see this one. This one is another start frame. For this clip here, I felt that the early beginning, this the guy here in the back of the werewolf weren't doing enough, and that was a problem where I didn't specify the character to do anything in the beginning. I didn't think it would matter too much, but then now I started to realize that without prompting for it, it just sort of stand there. And so you need to give it something to do. You need to at least specify that maybe it's nervous, taking a back or taking a step shock, or try to grab the werewolf and struggle a little bit, because now it's just wood. And so that's the only issue with this clip, where I realized that I didn't hands-on prompt something in. Even one word dialogue where they're trying to tuck or pull the werewolf around where they give it a little bit of natural movement. So something to keep in mind. Kling is a little bit like this. If Kling, you have a character that is lifting his hand pointing at something, and you want to naturally lower his hand during the course of the scene, it won't do that by itself. You state it for the character to do something, it will just stay there to do that one thing. And so naturality and precision means you have to hands-on a little bit. And this seems to be the same thing with Seedance. And most of the top tier model like to do this because they expect you to pay the premium price to get maximum precision as an artist. You want all the precision in the world and absolute control over the scene. That's what they tailor to. And sometimes when I'm working with a platform that is lesser, not as professional, they like to the auto do his own thing a little bit. It is certainly easier when you're bulking. When you're bulking and you're doing so many things all the time, and you're looking for the length of a project rather than the minute detail. You want another platform rather than Seedance and Kling, because it takes up a lot prompt craft, and you don't have the time allotted to massage into a scene. If you don't give it enough time, there's no point paying the premium price also. One more time. In the beginning of the prompt, I specify the table were gonna get shot by butterfly, and some of the paper flew off. So the commando who fell misfire in there. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the scene. Yeah, see the tables here and there. At the end, I quite like the fact that there was a sound effect that told the tale, because there were no action here, right? I specified the gunfire, and this guy's on alert. He's looking for a new target to take down, you know. And so that's been great. It's been fun to work with sound effect, because into the audio prompt, because a year ago there were no sound whatsoever, right? It was just feel, and I wasn't really using feel as much. And so now there's a whole new dynamic of what can you do, you know. Yeah, the sound is telling all kinds of story. Let's check this one out. So this one is a multi-panel Omni reference. Unlike the previous Hailuo website, because it is Omni reference, it's a start frame. You can't see the multi-panel, but it was originally a 3x3 multi-panel. It's not going to be as detailed as a full one image reference start frame. I noticed that the background interior scene is a little bit of fade out. But the trade-off is that you get a lot more consistency throughout the entire sequence. And it's not too bad. That is tolerable, I think, the detail. And the character consistency is also good. Even though the 3x3 panel were kind of small on the character face, it's still able to register the character that she looks close enough to the real deal that it's not disruptive. But I think if your image, the 3x3 panel, you can't see the face clearly but from the image alone, then maybe not. It shouldn't be tried for, because it is still the it's still quite accurate. So if it's already morphing, there's no problem using it. Nothing is gonna beats the character consistency of an omni reference Seedance, where you can reliably the face is not gonna morph, where a start frame or these multi-panel even it's not gonna be as precise. But I really like the setup of scene by scene of this clip. And okay, let's go over. Yeah, she's scared here, right? She's scared, and then this scene was prolonged, focus on her face. I prompt crafted, so there's a human emotional touch where I specifically wanted to hold that scenes a little bit longer, rather than fighting all the time, or a human face element to it. And if you can do that by dialing in the text prompt, then you have a lot of control. And it's not just the 3x3 multi-panel going in the auto, because I'm seeing a lot of people using Seedance and you're not handcraft editing the emotional pacing and giving that human needed touch. And if it's all mechanical processes, it's going to turn out robotic, and then and the result's not going to be good. So there's a little bit of a naturality here that is by prompting alone. You give it time for the character to feel her emotion, and then the scene ends that way. And right off the bat, you know that there's a human touch to the whole story. Where this is kind of the emotional pacing you cannot get if you too dry or auto prompt. There's some user guide that is telling you that 3x3 panels used like a one sentence prompt, but I think there's a little bit more room to the model, a little bit more creative freedom for you to explore than a simple one line prompt. They're afraid that if you give it too much prompt, you're gonna start creating error. I haven't used it enough to hit one of the error, so I don't know. For me, these few clips in, I feel that the trade-off is you don't do enough, and it's not quite worth it. It's still plenty capable, but I demand more emotional value. I felt this scene had a little bit of an issue where it wasn't quite continuity making sense of it. Not mostly because the starting a multi-panel were a little bit choppy to start, so it wasn't a very good reference. But I was hoping if I could just raw prompt it and make it cohesive and not worry too much. But I realized that the CN is more precise than that. That if I start multi-panel images weren't very cohesive to begin, don't plug it in. I'm working with another platform called Pixverse, and Pixverse C1 has a multi-panel also, and that platform is a little bit more liberal. In you can kind of, even though the panel doesn't make too much sense, it kind of makes sense by itself by your prompt more than what it's referencing that way. But that's not this model. This model is quite precise on the reference image. So make sure that the multi-panel that you're working with is the one that you like. And then that is a whole other skill of the developer to be more precise with banana, which I haven't been well honing. And this last clip is 1.5 fast, I think. Seedance 1.5 fast. And it's still quite good. It was just 450p too. Yeah, it's quite the power of the fast model, but then it still look alright when the character is just walking. Don't do anything more with a fast model than this. I haven't used Seedance fast too fast, so I don't know what the difference is. I just figure I'm just gonna use the premium model because it's not too much credit difference. I don't want to deal with another platform. I just want to use the best. Just see what it's fully capable of first. Yeah, it's been okay. See my oh yeah, my monthly credit just got weekend. It was like 1 credit like a moment ago. Yeah, it was the last day, so I'm finishing these things up. I have 2 more months of design to go, so it should be kind of fun. Yeah, it's been interesting. I can't say that I know everything about the platform, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. Oh, that's all. That's how I learn this month with Seedance. I hope this helps somebody out. Just want to give back to the AI community here. All right, that's it.